Good morning. UAB plays its final home game of the 2023 season this Saturday against Temple. We'll honor 11 seniors. So with that, I'll turn it over to Coach Dilfer.
Thanks, Ted. Excuse my voice. I'm dealing with a little sickness here. Incredibly disappointing loss against a good Navy team, especially disappointing offensively, kind of self-destructed. But kind of turn the page. Looking forward to our last home game. Like Ted said, honoring these seniors that have invested a lot in this program. I want to make sure we put forth our best effort to honor them and their legacy here as Blazers. Questions?
Keandre Swoops had a really nice game the other day, and just can you just and he's a senior. Can you just kind of talk about what he's meant to you and to this program, and just kind of his progression this year? Because it seemed like there was a little bit of struggle at the first of the year for him, and then he's really come on.
Yeah, I think missing spring hurt him coming off the shoulder injury from last season. But as a guy, it's dependable. He helps us get lined up. Kind of the general of the secondary. As versatile players, played 3 different secondary positions. So. Very productive game against Navy. Got the big interception on 4th down, forced a fumble, had another big hit there. So Swoops is definitely a guy that we want to make sure we play our best football for him.
Trent, looking at the Navy game, was the offensive game plan to be so run heavy, or if it wasn't, was there something that the Navy defense was doing to allow more run plays? Because just the passing game just seemed kind of off.
Yeah, we really wanted to run the football. That was a point of emphasis going in. One of the risks you take when you do that is not being productive there and putting yourself in tough passing situations. So it backfired against us. We thought we were going to be able to run the ball better. We thought we could push them around, and we wanted to get our backs a lot of carries in the first half. It was also a way to protect the defense, and I thought it was a good plan. It just it backfired on us because we did not execute it at any form or fashion.
Going back to the seniors, just how much have you relied on those guys to kind of help you in your first season leading a program? On the FBS level, you got Swoops, you got Tajon Palmer, a lot of these, Skull guys that have been here and lived this program.
Yeah, their maturity, their professionalism really helped the transition. They were all leaders in the off season, helped establish our core values and our culture, which I really, the win-loss record's so bad, that is a strength of ours. The building has a good vibe, and a lot of reason for that is their buy-in to the way we did things early. They're guys that handle their business off the field as well as they handle it on the field, and they've been a real example to the other players. There'll be guys that we point to as we continue to build this thing as an example of how to do it right.
You talked a little bit, or talked about the defense playing well. Now they got to transition into a completely different offense in 7 days. Yeah. Kind of how difficult is that for a defense when you face something totally different than you did 7 days before?
Yeah. It's a challenge. It's very much like high school. You play a wing T team one week, then you play a 10 personnel spread team the next week. So it's something Sione's used to. It's something any of our coaches that have any high school experience are used to. And in this conference, I think every defense coordinator is going to have to do that now with Army coming in too. So you play a lot of versatile offenses in this conference and different styles. So it's one of the reasons why you install certain rules in the spring so that you can bring back stuff, I guess. I think the biggest challenge this week is the quarterback. He is a fantastic player. Not just good, he is fantastic, and he will dissect you if you're not on your P's and Q's. So it's not just playing the system, it's playing a player too.
Do you have a relationship with him
I do.
Or his father?
I do. Kurt and I are very good friends. EJ went through the Elite 11. I watched EJ's film when he was, I think, a 9th grader, 10th grader. Kurt and I were 2 of the few believers, to be honest with you. Kurt and I talk about it, how a lot of people said he was too small or this or that. And Kurt and I just saw a player. And Kurt is as a father, is really good here. Like, he tries to be unbiased. But he said, I think my son's pretty good. excuse me, can you check him out? And I said, Kurt, your eye's right. He's an incredibly good football player. Sure, he's undersized by traditional standards, but he's very productive. He's very tactical. He plays the position like a pro. You know, that's what Kurt and I saw. And he's like his dad in a lot of ways. He's got fantastic foundation of mechanics. He's very consistent. He has incredibly fast eyes, which is what, you know, doesn't get talked about enough. The difference between a college quarterback and a pro quarterback is their eyes, how fast they can get through things, how clearly they see pictures, how they can anticipate. He changes speed on the ball. He's got better movement than his dad had. And he's tough as nails. I mean, he is as tough as they come. So I don't want to say he's the best because I think Pratt's an incredibly good player in this conference. I think Frank's a great player, but I would say EJ's the best passer in this conference. He is clearly the best passer in this conference.
How would you assess the overall team morale heading into this Temple game, knowing that bowl game is out of reach, but still try to honor these 11 seniors in their last home game?
I think yesterday was disappointing. Obviously, I don't want to use the word discouraged, although I'm sure some are. You know, I'd be an idealist to think that some aren't discouraged. I'm not. I think I fought it yesterday. I'll be honest with you, yesterday's about as low as I've been. But pity party lasted about 10 minutes, and I picked myself up and moved on. You know, I think you can be disappointed but still have hope, and I think the hope is to get better. The hope is to continue to lay a strong foundation, and the hope is to put your best foot forward for these seniors, but also for yourself. There's nothing wrong with being selfish as a player to play your best football. It's one of the ways you can be a great teammate is to play your best football. So let's just use an arbitrary player. Let's call him Mequan Merriweather, right? Mequan wants to be selfish and put out good tape so he can punch himself in as a starter in the spring, right? But also the best way he could be a great teammate for Fish and for Fairbanks and for Soldier is to go play his best football because it'll help them play their best football. So you can you can be selfish and still be a great teammate. And I've talked to him about that. Also, I think in modern day football, tape matters. You know, this is, some of these guys have aspirations of playing beyond college football. There's a lot of opportunity there, whether it be the USFL, XFL merger, whether it be the NFL, whether it be European League, where guys are making $100,000 playing football in Rome. You know, these are great opportunities to play beyond college. They want to have good tape. You have guys that are going to be coming back here and want to compete for starting positions. Their tape's being evaluated. And then let's be realistic. There's guys that are probably thinking about going to the portal. And they want their tape to be good when it's out there. So I still think you have a lot to play for. I grew up old school where if there was a game on the schedule, it was a time to compete, and it didn't matter what your record was. And I know that's probably not true anymore, but that's how I'm wired. Like I was just in with offense and defense staffs grinding them on putting the best game plan they've ever put together in life for this week because that's the standard that we want to have around here.
Speaking to that, just what have been the bigger challenges, in this first season? Putting together a program, coaching, making adjustments, things of that nature.
Well, I think the whole thing's been a challenge. That's why I did it. I don't even know where to go with that because college football is hard right now. And I was very open and honest about that when I took the job, that's what attracted me to it was I wanted a great challenge in my life. So you gotta be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. And I've gotten it. I've gotten a great challenge. I really have enjoyed it. Yes, I'm disappointed in the win-loss, and yes, I should be criticized because I probably haven't done a great job at it. But I'm getting better each day, and I think we're getting better in the building. And I hope to do it better here this week than I did last week and the following week, and then obviously build off that and be the best head coach I can be.
With Michael Moore going down early in this game, talked about last night, but when with the job that Jackson Bratton, who didn't seem to play a whole lot the week before, had a job he did, and also the job that Rousseau did, just kind of being in there without Michael Moore.
Well, I think it was it was multiple people. Devon Miller stepped in and played a linebacker position. Jackson stepped in, Will Sorrell stepped in. Like a lot of it was kind of by committee. Yeah, Jackson's been a really good base linebacker for us. Like that's his role, and guys have had to accept roles that maybe they're not totally comfortable with. But he stepped in and plugged the run very well and was very physical in this game. And this will be a different game, right? This is more of a versatility game. So you may see other players step up as well.
You mentioned Damon Miller there. Was that something that was situational for him to go up there? Because
I think both Miller brothers done a really good job of using their versatility. Whether it's Damon or Dame, they're safeties, they're nickels, they're linebackers. They understand. They're really smart football players, so they understand the third level and the second level. Gives us versatility. Again, and Damon especially stepped in and played some real critical snaps. Dame did too. And they're going to have to, right? You know, as the last two games, we got to make sure that we have as many packages as possible to put our best players on the field, but also create some confusion for the other team.
Any other questions? All right, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys. Sorry about the cough. Brutal.